Hi guys, welcome back to We Are Tottenham TV, and this is the post-match fan show for the Tottenham Hotspur 4, Everton 0 thumping at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I'm here with Amir. Amir and I watched the watch-along together. How are you feeling, Amir? Buzzing?
Yeah, buzzing. Great performance, great start, great first home game. So many positives to talk about. And yeah, a great way to kick off the season, going up to St. James's Park for a very difficult afternoon over there.
Yeah, that will definitely be difficult next, but we don't need to worry too much about that. Guys, make sure you get in the chat, ask any questions you've got in the chat, and if you want to call in, the details how are in the community box as well. And of course, make sure you press like on this, and if you don't already, make sure you subscribe to We Are Tottenham TV. But let's get going straight away, shall we? Because we've got Ross on the line. Ross, can you hear me? How are you, mate? Oh, Ross. He's not available. He's not ready. Ross, you're not ready? Oh. I see. Ross is not available. I see. So there you go. Just showing commitment to technical issues, really, more than anything there, guys. Obviously, 4-0, 2 goals from Sonny. Our first goal from a corner for Romero, seemingly for quite a long time. You gave Sonny man of the match earlier. How important do you think those 2 goals could be for his season?
Oh, huge. It's it's so important for a striker just to get the monkey off the shoulder, and the fact that he didn't have the greatest game against Leicester, to get that monkey off his back is so important for him. Great finish for the second one as well. I think it was a really professional one. Waited for Pickford to go down, put it through his legs. And the first goal is something that we've seen from Sonny for the last 10 years, of him just sprinting down, chasing everything down. And today it paid off. Silly touch from Pickford, and yeah, easiest goal Son will ever score. So it's going to be huge for the season going ahead, Barnaby.
Totally.
Huge.
And Vinny, just to say a comment in the chat saying volume low. Okay, that's all good. Bissouma got his first goal for the club, just coming back from his suspension after a personal misdemeanor on his Snapchat account. You were very impressed by him today, weren't you?
Very impressed, and I go to say is if Sonny didn't get the second, Bissouma would have been my man of the match, because I thought he was phenomenal. And apart from the goal, which was an absolutely stunning finish from Bissouma, an absolute rocket, the keeper can't get anywhere near it. I thought his awareness, shifting the ball on the half turn, everything was good. Closing down, making tackles, really back to that Bissouma that we saw in the first 10 games of last season.
Yeah.
So now for me, the question is, can he get that consistency? Can he prove to us fans that he can do it throughout a whole season and not just in patches? And if we do have Bissouma at that top level, that is going to be huge for us, because he could be the first name on that team sheet if he steps his game up to the level that he was last season, those first 10 games. And I really hope for his sake he can put this misdemeanor saga behind him, and yeah, we see the best from him.
Okay, I'm going to have another go at trying for Ross. Ross, can you hear me? Are you available? You're on mute, and now you've gone black, as in the screen has gone black. Okay, we've had another go at Ross. Maybe let's try and find another caller. I'm just watching on Twitter here. They're showing a video of Mickey van der Ven's run through the middle of the defence.
Sure.
And somebody even saying here, I've never seen a run like this by any centre-back in the history of football. Generational player. I mean, what I would say about it is he's one of the very few centre-backs, I'd say, who has the pace and the drive to just go so centrally there. How important was it that he didn't get as injured as we feared he did at the end of that first half?
Honestly, I was fearing for the season when he went down. That's how crucial Mickey is to what we're doing here. We need him fit and firing all season long if we want to achieve. He's an absolute Rolls-Royce defender, and the thing is, he's not just good at defending. Like you said, we can see him charging up the pitch. He's great on the ball. He plays a lovely weighted pass, slips in Sonny for the assist. He scores goals. We saw that last season. And he's a threat from set pieces and corners. What is it that there's nothing Mickey can't do as a footballer? And I love to see his progression, and I feel like he gets better and better every game I see him. He's just been improving and improving, and I'm so glad he's at our club.
So am I, and I think really props go out to the entire back four. I thought Pedro Porro had a kind of understated top level game again today.
Yep.
Not much he ever does wrong. He had a shot in the first half, end of the first half, with his left foot that very nearly went into the top right-hand corner. He's technically so proficient. He's decent in the air, as we saw last week, scoring that winner against Leicester. Destiny Udogie, I think, is playing himself back to fitness. And obviously Christian Romero, one of the best centre-halves in the world. So it's just about finding the right balance of who can protect in front of them, really, isn't it? Obviously, great to get a clean sheet today, but also, man for man, there are not many better back fours around in Europe, I wouldn't say.
Yeah, definitely. And it's time for them as a unit, as a back four, as a back line, as a defence to say, guys, what happened against Leicester will not happen to us again. We will get these clean sheets. And for me, one of the biggest positives of this match is coming home with that clean sheet and building that solidity as a defensive unit. And if we can continue doing that, that's going to be huge for us going forward. Because the trick is, if we want to get to that third place that you want to get to in the league, and even higher, we have to stop conceding silly goals, and we have to get more goals from set pieces ourselves. If we can work on those two aspects of Ange's system and game, I can see progression this season.
And Wilson Odobert was the surprise signing that we made last week from Burnley and thrown straight in on his debut to start on the left today. What do you make of him?
Very impressed from what I saw today. Really brave, young winger, taking on his man, trying to make things happen. Can go left, can go right. Looks like he's going to be... he's still raw, but he looks like he's going to be a really good signing. He did make a sloppy pass there in the second half, but that's to be expected. Things like that happen with young players. He's going to learn as he develops, but he seems like a really, really sharp signing.
Totally. We're just having a few technical issues, which is why we haven't got any calls yet. So we're just going to fill until then. I just want to go through a thread on X and Twitter by Harry Brooks, who, if you don't follow him, it's at @HarryBrooks_coach. He's a brilliant football coach, really knows his stuff. And he said the following. He said, as I've been saying for ages, if you put players in the midfield, forward and final third who can look after the ball, change the pace of attacks and allow to attack in a variety of ways, Spurs are a great side under Ange. It's so much better today. It's patient, but everything has a purpose and there's variety. Moving forward, the midfield three should always have ball players, and you see the difference having a player like Odobert who can look after it too. What it does is it actually allows you to have more direct attacks too, because teams know now they can't just sit back and camp their own box, because Maddison, Kulu, Odobert, Porro and Udogie, etc. can play combination football in tight areas, not even including Solanke, who can as well. I just want to ask about that before I go on to the next bit of that thread. For the first time that I can remember anyway, Ange today played two ball players in central midfield. He had Kulusevski and Maddison. He dropped Sarr today. Yeah. And it felt to me that was because he knew that Everton were going to come and play 11 behind the ball. We'd have a lot of the ball. And so it was better to have a technically proficient player in there as well. I think arguably maybe he might have looked back at the Leicester game and wished he'd done that in that game. I can't see a reason why that's not something he's going to do more in games where we're going to play against teams who camp on the edge of their box, right?
I can see that happening a lot this season, especially against teams with low blocks. Against teams like bigger teams like City, I can see him going with more legs in that midfield. Yeah. But it really did help us a lot having Kulu there. And he had a fantastic performance in that first half. He really, really did. He provided so much for us with his unique skill set that he has. Providing the assist for Bissouma's first goal. And he's just very awkward, Kulu. He's great at holding onto the ball. He's great at making players commit and then playing the correct pass infield or down the line. Let's
not forget about Decky Kulusevski, just how young he is as well. He's only 23.
Yeah, he's a kid. He's a kid.
Okay, some quotes coming in here from Ange Postecoglou after that 4-0 victory. He says on Bissouma's performance, he says the following: Bissouma was good, and we know Biss is a good footballer. It's about him being the best version of himself, and he will only get there if, as we've spoken a few times, discipline is a big thing for him. And I thought it was a disciplined performance from him today. Not just the goal he scored, but he had a really important job for us. He knew they'd sort of play fairly direct, and he had to be there to mop up second balls and intercept things. And he was clean for the most part in possession. So good performance. I mentioned earlier, didn't I, how important it was that Van der Ven and Romero were good in the air against Everton's kind of mid to long ball game, and how important it was we had the midfielders to sweep up those second balls. And he's right, Bissouma and Kulusevski and Maddison all did well in that side of things.
Oh yeah, spot on from Ange there with the words that he's trying to encourage Bissouma. Really great performance from him, and I really can see that Ange is trying to work his magic with these players. And one of the huge positives that I saw today is that all the players were fighting for the team, for Ange, for the system, for how we want to play our football. All the subs that came on as well, I thought did very well. Spence, Bergval, Gray. So I'm really happy with what I saw today. It's just about consistency now. You know, it's just about making sure that we don't let our heads down if we do go down, or if things do go wrong in a match for us. We know that we can play football to a high level. We've got clinical finishers. We saw that today, and I think it's a great building block for us, this match. Great building block.
I'm just going to go into the chat a little bit. Edgar R says, VDV, Mickey van der Ven, has the potential to be one of the very best in the world. He's just amazing. I completely agree with that.
Agreed.
I don't know what that means, sorry. Yanevo says, our corners are a pain to watch. Swings to far post when everyone is not there. Plays short without any plans on what to do with it. Well, it can be a bit of a disappointing watch, the corners sometimes, but we did get our first goal from a corner today, and that was Christian Romero's full commitment, wasn't it? You know, we need Romero to just basically show everyone else that they need to plough through people, right?
Yeah. And look, that third goal that Romero got for us, you know, it shows how effective set pieces can be. When we were getting into the numbers of 8, 9 corners, yeah, you're expecting a goal from one of them because it is such a good opportunity to get the ball in the net. Yeah. And Romero wanted it more than the defenders, and it really is as simple as that. When you've got set pieces. Get up there, be stronger, be more powerful, get your head on it, and finish. And yeah, Romero wanted it more than everyone. Done the business. But I do understand where his frustrations are, you know, about the corners before the one that Romero put in, because there were some deep deliveries to nobody that just weren't close to anyone. So we do need to improve on that, but I can see that we're working on it. And it will be something that I'll be keeping my eye on all season. Can we get those numbers up from set pieces and corners?
Vinny, what's the latest on? Just wondering if we can get callers in.
No one. I think Brian might be joining in a bit.
Guys, we haven't got anyone on the line to speak to at the moment. So if you want to call and speak to us about today's game, do go and look in the community box on YouTube. That's how you can see how to do it. Also, it's in the chat here as well. You can check it out. So do give us a call in. I'd be very surprised if none of you wanted to speak to us, because we've just absolutely hammered Everton 4-0. But we have been having some technical difficulties.
Out.
So I wonder if...
Everyone's out having beers. Everyone's too happy, I think, to come on.
Is it worth talking about, Amir, just how reactive our fan base can be, or certainly our online fan base can be? I saw a poll yesterday. Someone asked, who's Ange in and who's Ange out? And it was 92% are Ange in. And I think that feels about right to me. The project is going the right way. It's going to take time. It's going to take more players that he wants in. And at some point, I do think we are going to have to make signings who will directly improve the first team again. We did do that last season, obviously with the likes of Van der Ven, but and obviously also, you know, Porro and Udogie. But at the moment, it just feels a lot better to me in terms of everyone in the squad. I feel confident does play the Ange way, comfortable on the ball, able to give and go, 1-2 touch stuff, progressive thinkers. So, you know, is there as much to complain about as sometimes the Spurs fans do when we get a draw at Leicester?
Look, the Spurs fans can be reactive, yes. However, I do understand all the frustrations. It's because of the history. It's because of what's been going on for the last 20 odd years, 15 years. It's the wastefulness in the transfer markets, the wrong decisions we've made in the past. So it's like almost like you're a bit scarred when we're making the right decisions, and we are making some right decisions. We brought in some phenomenal players over the last couple of years. Your Poros, your Van der Vens, your Romeros. So things are going in the right direction. And you know, under Ange, we are going in the right direction. We're playing the football we wanted to play. Yes, we still need to tweak things here and there, and yes, there are tactically things that I'm looking for this season for Ange to outdo certain managers and certain teams. And yeah, we're still building. We're not fully there. We're not a squad that's ready for me to compete for the title quite yet.
No.
But having said that, we're going in the right direction, and I'm seeing many positives. And you know, sometimes in football, you do need the stars to align. If we could go for a season without having major injuries, that could be huge for us. And that is kind of a matter of luck, really. You know, there are things that you can do to influence that luck, sure. But if we can go get a clean bill of health for a lot of these top players, I think it will hold us in really good stead for this season, and we can do things. We'll see how it goes.
Completely agree. So I'm just checking to see if we've got a caller. Let's talk a little bit more about James Maddison. I think a lot of us agreed that he was somewhere near his best against Leicester, and again today, just always wanted the ball, always trying to get it. Had a few efforts on goal. I think he needs a goal. Like, he got an early goal, didn't he, last year against Burnley away? Mm-hmm. That kind of set him up for that first 10 games. But he looks fit again, doesn't he?
Look, if he had got on the score sheet today, he would have been in that mix for man of the match as well. I think he had 2 very good chances. He got an assist. He was causing havoc, looking for the ball as well. Even defending, which you don't usually, think of Maddison. He was back there, fighting in the box for the ball. So really great performance from James.
Maddison. Okay, I've got Brian Daigle there. Can you hear me, Brian? Oh, I can see you, Brian. I feel like I can hear you, but I don't think you can hear me. Sorry about this, everyone at home. We will continue to try and get callers on. Brian, can you hear me, mate?
Brian? There you go.
No,
it's
can't
nothing.
Hear me. Yeah, sorry guys. We'll keep trying to work on these technical issues. I mean, it's probably worth just having a little word about Everton. Let's not forget Everton. Certainly in all the years that I've been following Spurs, mostly always until the last 15 years, been swimming in the same waters as Spurs. They won the FA Cup in 1994. Since us, they've just dropped off the planet, that club. And if you're an Everton fan at the moment, especially with all their financial troubles, they're desperate for someone to come and buy the club.
Yeah.
And look, I think Sean Dyche is the right manager for them, but he's not getting a tune out of them this season so far, that's for sure.
No, they could be in real trouble this season, actually, Everton, I think. But they need to improve a hell of a lot, because they shipped so many goals. And when you think of Dyche, you think of teams that, that are stable at the back. So they've got a lot of issues going on. But at the same time, you got to remember that they had 3-4 big players out as well today. So I think
defensively they were very, very short.
Yeah, and the writing was on the wall for me with this game. If we were good enough and we were clinical, I think we were always going to win this one. So I'm really happy with that, and I do fear for Everton a little bit this season.
Oh, I felt like we nearly had a caller there. Let's just say that because some news earlier today that Manos Solomon is having a medical at Leeds. You mentioned, haven't you, that he actually, because I only realised he had a very bad injury last year with Spurs, but actually in his last season at Fulham he had a bad injury as well. So you think it's a good move for him dropping down to the Championship?
Oh, definitely. If you're that young and you've gone through 2 major seasons with major injuries, you do need to get minutes in your legs. And I think for him going down to Leeds, who are, they're going to be wanting to come back up to the Prem, can he help them do that? And that should be his mission for next season. He should go up there with his head held high and do his best to try and get back to Spurs.
Completely agree. Okay, I can see Vasily. Vasily, can you hear me? Ah, dear. We're having such technical issues here, guys. Do you know what, Vinny, is it worth us kind of coming off and seeing if we can come back on to try and make something work, or is it just...
I'm going to make a new link to join.
Okay. For people to call in or in general?
For people to call in.
Okay, guys. So just so you know, we're really struggling to get callers on. We're going to make a new link for you guys to call in, and we're going to put that in both the chat box here and in the community box. And then if we can't get that working, I guess we'll just drop off because we've been talking for like 20 more minutes about things we've basically already talked about. But I don't know. Transfer window already has a week left.
Yeah.
What do you think's going to happen?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Bless you. I can see one more coming in, possibly maybe a defender and a couple of outgoings as well. I think Gio Lo Celso is one that will most likely be moved on. Maybe
Ben Davis? I wonder whether Ben Davis... I guess at the moment probably not, because he's realistically our fourth centre-back.
Exactly. And if you don't bring in another defender, then Davies is good to have around. And he's a good guy to have around the squad as well. So
just looking at that bench...
maybe just Gio.
Werner, Richarlison, Sarr, Bergvall, Gray, Davis, Spence. Yeah, I mean, Spence's comeback has really... meant that that's one that's not coming out. The only two injuries out apart from that was Solanke and Bentancur. Yeah, probably just Gio Lo Celso, I guess. Fraser Forster at a push, but actually he wasn't on the bench in the first game, was he? So he's clearly back for injured, and he's our reserve keeper. So maybe he won't go. Yeah, it could just be Gio Lo Celso. Obviously Archie Gray and Lucas Bergvall. Archie Gray got a few more minutes than Bergvall today. I think from what I see of Archie Gray at the moment, when he's playing in that 6 role, obviously coming on for Bissouma today, and Bentancur the other day got a few minutes coming in there. He looks good on the ball, but I think at the moment he's not really trying to beat players or take them on the half turn. It'll be interesting to see when he gets more confidence and up to speed what he can really bring there. But he's clearly a technically proficient player.
Oh yeah, he's a huge talent. He's great. Thing is, he's still raw. The kid's 18. He's still learning his trade. So we got to be patient with him. Yeah, he will make some mistakes. He will lose the ball in some, frustrating situations. But he's got to learn from that. And from what I've seen from him so far, I think he's a huge talent, and he's got a bright future ahead of him. And the same goes for Bergvall, really. I think we've got a real player on our hands. From what I saw, he was, his abilities, the things that he was doing out in Sweden, it made the football out there look like child's play for him, really. And he's made that step up to the Prem, and he looks just as confident here.
Yeah, Leslie Crawford has added, and rightly, that Sergio Reguilon will leave, obviously.
Oh, of course,
there's been some rumours that maybe he might go to Barcelona. If we can get somewhere between 5 and 10 million quid for him, and maybe 10 to 15 million for Lo Celso, then that's a little top up. Okay, so we're getting close. We're hoping to speaking to a caller. I'm going to go first to Haz. Haz, can you hear me, mate? No, it's dropped out again straight away. Felt confident there. I thought I could hear Haz and see him. I feel like I can hear someone. No, we've got another caller. We have got callers. We're just struggling with the technicals to get them involved yet. I'm going to go into the chat very quickly. Let's have a look here. Yanivo, very bright debut from Odobert. The amount of action down the left side versus the right side is insanely lopsided. Shows the trust in Odobert compared to Brennan by the team. What do you think about that?
No, not too sure about that, because a lot of good things happened from the right as well, with Kulu there, and the assist came from the right. So, yeah, I'm not too sure about that.
Yeah, I think it was just... I don't think it was an element... I don't think there was any element of them not trusting Brennan Johnson. I think it might even be down to the fact that, let's not forget, as well as Odobert starting on the left, Everton had a debutant on the right right back as well, an 18-year-old debutant.
Yeah, so they wanted to test him a lot.
They wanted to test him. I thought he played well, to be honest. I did think he did well. I can hear them.
I can hear Marlon.
Yeah, I can hear Marlon there. Gabriel 1 on a similar subject. Why does Ange persist on starting Brennan Johnson when he's clearly more effective as an impact sub?
That is a good question. That is a very good question. And personally, that is the one change I would have made before the game. But having seen how the match turned out, I think Ange got it spot on. You can't win a game 4-0 and be disappointed with the starting lineup. So, I think Johnson is just going to have to carry on trying to do the right things, and eventually he will get there. He's got a lot of talents. It's just, can he fix that mentality where he's a bit nervous and a bit sloppy on the ball? He will improve. I'm sure of it.
Just before I go and try and speak to Haz or Marlon, Haz again or Marlon, I should say that Ben Davis before the game was awarded a trophy of sorts, a kind of glass football by Ledley King for his 10 years service at the club. Back in the day, you would get a testimonial with which you could keep all of the gate receipts, but now you get something that looks like it's been bought from your local trophy shop. But Ben Dave's been a good professional, good servant for the club.
He has indeed. And it'd be nice, wouldn't it be nice for his 10 years of service to actually go and get a real trophy at the end of it this season? That's what I want to see, not these fake football things.
That would be nice. Okay, I can see Marlon. Marlon, can you hear me? I guess is not.
Yeah, let's be able to see them talking, and they technically can hear all of us talking now.
I can hear you, Marlon, yeah. Vinny, I don't know what more we can do. There's not much more we can talk about here. No. Okay, guys, so sorry. We've had such technical issues, not going to be able to talk to any of you guys. We will endeavour to make sure we get them sorted before the next game, which is Newcastle away. Before we go, Amir, let's go with some predictions there. I think it's going to be a goal fest. I'm going to go 2-2, and I'd be happy with that point.
I tell you what, I'm going to go 2-1 in a very, very nervy one with a last-minute winner for us.
Boom. Who's going to score that winner?
Just to get that monkey off his back, Johnson.
Brennan Johnson to score the winner, says Amir. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We're so sorry about the technical problems. Do give this video a like, though. Make sure you press subscribe, and make sure you subscribe to We Are Tottenham TV. And we'll be back with those technical problems sorted for the Newcastle games. I'll be here. And, make sure you have a great weekend. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on.